Hey everyone, it's Jordie, and I don't know how long I'm going to talk here, so I'm going to edit the video accordingly. But this gameplay is something I got the other day, and this video is about Hutch and Hutch's latest video, and my opinions, and how I pretty much take everything from it. And Hutch always hated these kind of videos from me, where I post up videos where I actually lose the game, and this is one of them. We do lose this game, so there's a spoiler alert. But yeah, I figured I'd show something different. Everybody always shows the cherry pick games. This is one of the games that, the team pretty much struggled in. So here you go. But if you haven't seen Hutch's latest video yet, I highly suggest you watch it. He goes ham in a domination match with the post-patch Bison, or pre-patch, or however you want to say that. And he talks about anxiety. And I don't want to go out on a limb here, but I want to say Hutch is a guy I kind of identify with a lot. And even though me and Hutch has had our differences in the past, we've put that well behind us. I wouldn't consider us, buddy the closest friends in the world. But in my opinion, Hutch is the closest person to my personality on the internet. I don't know if that's a compliment or a insult, seeing as, I'm a very, very, very emotional person. And I tend to let my mouth get me in more trouble than it's worth. And I have views and ways that people just don't agree with. Especially right now, I'm not really the most liked person on YouTube. But that's pretty much been the normal for me through most of my YouTube career, of not being very well liked. And that comes from a string of things, or a slew of things. But Hutch touches on anxiety. And to kind of fully understand this commentary, you're probably going to need to watch his video. So I'm going to leave the video link in the description if I remember to do so. Because I kind of do these videos on a schedule, and it sometimes gets lost in translation. But I'm going to try my hardest to get it in the description of the video. But in the video, he talks about anxiety. And he talks about how things can kind of compound on each other. And even though I did post in the month of May, I think it was May, I kind of didn't. May was pretty much a call-in, and the same thing for Hutch. He pretty much called in the entire month of May as well, and he recently came back on June 1st. And May was a month where I kind of uploaded, I kind of didn't. My videos I probably uploaded more videos in May than I did in April, but most of those were Let's Plays, and the work versus Let's Play is a lot less. You pretty much play for 2 hours, you got 2 hours of footage, blah 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 blah. You got 4 videos. Whatever, getting a gameplay commentary or putting a gameplay commentary together is more work than 2 hours of Let's Play. That's my opinion. But I kind of checked out in May, and a lot of it is because I'm really at a crossroad in my life. I find myself worried constantly what the future holds. Because YouTube right now is vastly different than YouTube was 4 years ago. Or however long it was, 2010. YouTube now is different than YouTube in 2010. The standards are higher. There's more mobile viewers. There's a whole different diagram. Hell, Minecraft is a thing now, and Minecraft is so powerful it teaches children and stuff. And the kind of gamer and the kind of person I am, it's not going to be a flourishing one. And I've kind of come to grips with that. I've come to grips with I'm not going to be a know-it-all gaming or did you know gaming. I'm not going to be, a Mr. Technical Difficulty. I'm not ever going to be a trolling channel. And everything I've ever done was kind of rooted in video games itself and the experience I've had. For those of you who don't know, video games is about the only thing I'd consider myself good at. I have a lot of other skills, but my one and only real skill I have in life is a pretty good set of motor skills. I'm not the greatest out there. There's plenty of people with better motor skills than me. But I have good motor skills. I do. I mean, there's no way to say it without sounding arrogant. I've always been able to do things with my hand rather quickly. I picked up crane operation right away. I picked up driving right away. I picked up trailering right away. Anything to do with hand-eye coordination, I got you. Play wall ball, hit baseballs. I can do that. But like I said, I'm unsure where life is actually going at this point. And a lot of that's really weighing on me, and it kind of influences me. And I let it build up. I let it build up. And with the fallout of Painkiller Already, one of the things that I think Kyle said to me that I was a toxic friend. And like, I actually looked up the term toxic friend. I've heard it before, but I always passed it off as just, I don't know. I just passed it off. I'm like, I'm not a toxic friend. I've helped many people off the side of the road, I'm the kind of guy that will go to help you change your tire. How can I be a toxic friend? And I looked up the symptoms of a toxic friend, and I kind of fit them to a T. And like, I think I made a video about this before, I'm unsure, but you don't wake up wanting to be a toxic friend. You don't. You don't wake up one day and be like, well, I'm going to shit on everybody today, and I'm going to get upset at video games, and I'm going to rage, I'm getting mad at people. I don't do that. I don't wake up with the intention of that. But I do wake up, but recently I've been waking up with the intention of white rooms. My thought process lately has kind of been like this. I know this is, bitching or whining or whatever people say it is, but my thought process is this. I think about, all right, I need to do a video. I haven't done a video in 3 days. People are going to start losing faith. I'm going to lose any relevance I had. People are going to find other people to watch. I have to stay relevant. That's the first thought process, all right? So I got to stay relevant. I got to put something out regardless of what it is. Oops, sorry. And I'll go relevant. So what can be what can be a good video? Well, people really like my life. People like seeing updates. What have you done? Well, I think, I've done nothing. I have really done nothing. I've played Operation Raccoon City for like 3 days and been a 100% total waste of space and air breathing. And I go, all right, well, maybe we can be entertaining. What can we do entertaining? And when I start thinking about being entertaining, I go into my brain and I see a white room with an empty chair in it. I am just flabbergasted with like writer's block, and it causes me a lot of anxiety. And like Hutch talks about in the video how he's an anxious person by heart, and I feel like I fit that to a T. Like, I know it's just something different, but one of the most anxious moments I've ever had was when I bought the black F-150. When I bought that truck, I knew I was working on borrowed time, but it was a compilation of different things that kind of agreed to it, and like a lot of it was pride. Like I wanted to I didn't want the salesman to think I was this broke bum. I don't even know why that was even in my head, but at the same time I wanted somebody to tell me, no, you can't have this, because the white truck was almost paid for. That white F-150 I had, I owed something like 12 grand on it. By the time I got rid of the black one, I would have had the white truck paid for. I wouldn't have had to get rid of it. I would have still had it. And I was just waiting for it. And nobody questioned it. Nobody goes, well, are you sure you can buy this? Can you sure this? Nobody took interest in it. And the next 2 weeks after that were the worst 2 weeks probably in my life. Even worse than, the last month or so with the Painkiller Already stuff in the survival trip. It was an experience because I lived those 2 weeks knowing that I made a purchase that's going to affect my life long term down the road, and it could possibly destroy my credit. At the time, I could pay for it. I was still making good money at the time when I bought it. I ended up keeping the truck like 2 years, and I really did enjoy driving it. It was a very fun truck. It's a truck that, I wish I could still have today. But it's one of those things like, if you want to have the nice toys, you got to make the nice money. And, obviously I wasn't doing what I needed to do to make the money to be able to keep a toy like that. But that whole 2 weeks, I had these knots in my stomach, and they were the worst knots I've ever had. After the fact that I got over it, which took about 2 weeks, my stomach was actually sore almost every day from my stomach cramping, just laying in bed. I mean, for like the first 2 days after I bought it, I didn't drive it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't drive it around. Like most things you do when you get a new car. I remember when I got my first car, I kind of drove it to everywhere. I drove it up to my Uncle Stevie's just to show him I got a car, just because he lived so far away, and I just wanted to drive it places and show people. I was so proud of that 91 Honda Accord. And I didn't do that with the black truck. The black truck, I just lived in misery because I was so anxious and so anxiety filled. I couldn't even enjoy what I had purchased. And yeah, I'm kind of making this video to say I understand where you're coming from, Hutch. I understand when you don't do 3 videos, you think people are like, oh, that's it. Your channel's dead. Nobody's going to care about you. It happens to me every time I say something stupid or every time something bad happens. It's like, man, who's going to be on my side now? And like, and every time I think, it's like, what is after YouTube? Because I don't fucking know, dude. I honestly don't. I don't know what my life is, and it's a scary possibility where I'm going to be. Am I going to go from a guy making $22 an hour on a melt deck to a guy that made really good living on YouTube to a guy that is making $8 an hour like a Gap? I don't know. I mean, I can adjust my life around anything, but to me, I don't want to say money defines me, because in my book, money is the biggest complicator of everything. But it scares the living daylights out of me to be poor again. Like, I grew up poor, and it's a fear of mine, and I don't know. So I understand you, Hutch. I seriously do. And I didn't have a 30, 45, and 3 gameplay with a Kim to show you guys. That ain't how I roll. Thank you guys for watching my video. Maybe if you listen to it, give it a thumbs up.